Hey guys, so today I'm going to be unboxing the Hydor Slim Skim Nano Protein Skimmer for a saltwater aquarium. So this was sent to me by Hydor themselves to make a little review video on and try it out in my 29-gallon reef aquarium. So first off, we're just going to kind of go over the specs of the system, kind of look at some features. So the version I have here is the Nano Skimmer. It's good for up to 35-gallon aquariums, however they do make a larger version that is good for larger aquariums. So one of the features it has is that there's easy regulation of the foaming. So basically if you want a really watery or wet skim, you can do that, and if you want a more dry skim, you can do that as well. Also, another really cool feature is that it has magnets that help it keep it on the back instead of just suction cups, which will help it really stay to the back of your tank and not fall off into your sand or anything crazy like that. Here is the other skimmer they offer. This is the small one I have here, and then the larger one right here, like I mentioned earlier, good up to 65-gallon aquariums. So here are some specs on the Slim Skim Nano and just the normal Slim Skim skimmer. So here are the sizes right here. Here's inches or centimeters, whatever you use. It's a pretty substantial skimmer. It's nothing super small, but it's also not huge. I'll show you that in a minute on how it looks in the tank. We're just gonna go ahead and start by opening it up and putting it together. Opens up pretty nicely, everything laid out. We have the user's manual right here, which we'll go ahead and go over in a minute. Here is the chamber which your skim mate will go into. Very easy to open up and clean. As you can see, you'll probably only have to empty this about once or twice a week, depending on if you have it skimming wet or dry. First up in this white box are our magnetic suction cups right here. Next, we have some more suction cups. These, I believe, are to hold the cord to the back of your aquarium so the cord doesn't fall off. Next up, we have our pump with our Venturi line attached right here. And then last but not least, we have our little skim cup O-ring, which will help us regulate the height of the skim cup to determine if we want wet or dry skim. And then also we have the little airflow regulator. Then last but not least, we have the skimmer itself right here. Here's the unit itself. As you can see, it is transparent. Right here, the pump will go ahead and go down in the bottom. We'll assemble that in a minute. And here's the pump right here. This is a 4-watt pump. As I mentioned, the magnetic suction cups. The cord suction cups, this O-ring right here, which will go around the skim cup in order to adjust the skim cup height, and then here is that airflow regulator. So to install the pump, we're going to go ahead and slide this back cover off right here, and then we're going to slide this part out of the skimmer like so, and then the pump is simply attached like so to the body of the skimmer. Next, we'll go ahead and just slide this into the groove right here, and just slide that right into place and make sure the hole that's right there connects to the hole that's inside the plastic. Once you're done assembling it, it should look like this. Then you can go ahead and slide the hoses out this groove on the bottom, which will align with this groove right here. Go ahead and slide this piece into place, like so, and your skimmer is almost complete. Now all we need to do is take 2 suction cups, slide them into place on each of these mounts right here, and we're almost ready to put it in the tank. The airline adapter is just set up like this. This is how you can adjust how many bubbles are entering your skimmer, and this cup will simply sit on top of the skimmer like so. Pretty basic. The instructions were a little bit lacking, I found, but after messing around with it for a couple minutes, I was able to figure it out pretty simple. Now we're going to go ahead and get this into the tank and turn it on. So it's been about 4 days since I set up the skimmer. The skimmer is mounted right back here, and as you can see, it's actually doing really great, and I'm getting 0 micro bubbles in the tank, which is kind of hard to see based on lighting, but if you really look, there's not very many micro bubbles at all. There were a few for the first couple days, but they really seemed to completely go away. I have the skim mate adjusted more dry, as you can see right here. I'm getting some pretty dry skim, pretty dark skim as well. And I've been running the skimmer for, like I said, around 4 days, and I have emptied it twice. So that just kind of gives you a little hint, and it was probably right about up to here when I emptied it each time. So it does produce some pretty good skimmate, and as you can see, is pretty effective with the amount of bubbles that are in there. So on to the pros and cons of this skimmer. Pro, it's very quiet, and you get minimal amounts of micro bubbles. So quiet, most skimmers are actually pretty loud. This one is dead silent, which is amazing. I really like that aspect. Another feature about this skimmer, like I mentioned, is no micro bubbles. You do get a few for the first couple days, but they go away relatively fast compared to other skimmers. A con of this skimmer is that it wasn't really made to use with trimmed aquariums. As you can see, the suction cups have a pretty big gap where it's on the trim. I'm sure with a little bit of mods you could probably get around that, but just right now it was not made to be used on a trim aquarium. Another con is the size. As you can see, it's very large. It is called the Nano Skimmer, but it's not very small. Another con is that it's a little bit expensive and it's a little hard to put together, but I feel the pros that it has of the amazing skimming capability, the quietness, and the very low amount of micro bubbles, low to basically none in the end. This is definitely a great skimmer, and I would definitely recommend you pick this up for your nano reef aquarium. So that is pretty much it for this video. I do think the skimmer is definitely worth it at its price, even though it is a little bit on the expensive side. The build quality and the amount of skim it produces is just amazing, and it is very, very quiet, and you get basically no micro bubbles in your display. So that is pretty much it for this aquarium. Quick rundown of my setup. It is a 29-gallon reef aquarium with a aqua clear hang-on back filter and a hang-on refugium, some basic dry rock, basic saltwater / reef setup. The only thing I need now in this tank is I need a wave maker in this tank. Maybe I'll have a review on some wave makers coming up soon. That is pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.